My daughter's daycare called me about her imaginary friend. The teacher pulled me aside at pickup looking deeply concerned. Sarah's imaginary friend is becoming disruptive. She saves him a seat, shares her snacks, and gets upset when other kids sit in his chair. I laughed it off. She's 5. Her therapist says imaginary friends are normal after losing her dad. But the teacher's face stayed serious. The thing is, multiple children are now talking to him. They all describe the same person, a man with a red baseball cap who tells funny jokes. My blood went cold. My husband always wore a red Yankees cap. It was buried with him 6 months ago that night. Sarah set an extra place at dinner. For Daddy, she announced cheerfully. He doesn't eat, but he likes sitting with us. I played along fighting tears. Grief does strange things to kids. Then she looked at the empty chair and giggled. Daddy says you still can't cook. He wants you to know the smoke alarm isn't supposed to be the dinner timer. That was his favorite joke. Word for word, my hands started shaking over the next week. Sarah mentioned things only my husband knew, where he hid emergency cash, the nickname he had for our elderly neighbor, the secret ingredient in his famous chili. I called his brother, trying to stay rational. Maybe he'd been sharing these stories with Sarah. I haven't seen Sarah since the funeral, he said. But funny thing, my daughter's been saying Uncle Mike visits her at recess, teaches her card tricks. My husband spent every family gathering showing the kids card tricks. I installed cameras everywhere, kitchen, living room, Sarah's bedroom. For 2 weeks, nothing. Just Sarah talking to empty spaces, laughing at unheard jokes. Then I reviewed the morning footage from the kitchen. Sarah was eating breakfast, chatting away to the empty chair. At 7:23 a.m., her cereal spoon moved across the table by itself. She giggled and said, "Daddy, that's silly." I called the daycare with trembling hands. 3 other children had started talking about the man in the red cap. He helped them with puzzles, pushed them on swings. One boy said the man taught him to tie his shoes using the bunny ears method. The same way my husband taught Sarah. The breaking point came when Sarah handed me a drawing. It showed our family, including a figure in a red cap. Daddy says he's sorry he can't hug us, but he's always watching. He says, "Stop crying so much because the kitchen floods aren't that bad." We'd had 3 kitchen floods in our old apartment. I'd never told Sarah about them. I took her to see our priest, who listened patiently before saying children process grief differently. Their minds create. Father, Sarah interrupted. The man behind you says you still owe him $20 from poker night. The priest went white. He and my husband had a monthly poker game that night. I sat in the empty chair at dinner, Mike. I whispered to the air, "If you are here, I need to know." Sarah looked up from her mac and cheese. He says he's been trying to tell you, Chak, the blue coffee mug. My husband's favorite mug sat in the cabinet, untouched since he died, implied. I found a post. It note in his handwriting, "Emergency credit card. Love you both always." The card was there, Abdo, with a recent charge from last week. 1 purchase, Sarah's favorite ice cream from the shop that doesn't deliver. It appeared in our freezer the morning she cried about missing him most. I don't tell people about this. They'd think I am crazy, but every morning I set out 3 plates. Sarah chatters happily to her father, and sometimes, just sometimes, I swear I smell his cologne when she laughs at jokes I cannot hear. The daycare stopped complaining after I made a large donation. Other parents whisper, but their kids seem calmer, happier, safer. Last week, a new child started crying inconsolably at drop-off. Sarah walked over and said, "Don't worry. The nice man in the red hat will push you on the swings." The child stopped crying immediately.